think it's recording. Okay. So anyway, let's do some math. So this math packet is advanced math. So remember we talked about there were four different categories. The categories were over here. There we go. Yeah, so there's like algebra, problem solving, data analysis, advanced math, and geometry and trig. We did talk about algebra last time, like linear functions and systems of equations. We talked about how to use Desmos. We also talk about problem solving data analysis, like looking at probability, statistics, reading data tables, charts, ratios, proportions, percentages, all that stuff. So we're going to start with advanced math. It's 35% of the test. And then we'll do geometry and trig. So geometry and trig actually will be shorter. Shouldn't be as long. And I'm not going to do all the problems in the packets because that's kind of crazy. But I want to do like maybe 3 problems per set. So the first set, which is this right here. Here we go. The first set will have, the first packet will have 5 sets. And the first one's really more of a general strategy, but it kind of fits under advanced math. And this is an easy one. I know it's easy, advanced sounds kind of weird, but so it's called plugging in. This is probably one of the most important strategies for math. This is something that was applicable when I took this 30 plus years ago. When you see a variable in the choices, so you definitely see variables, right? You see like 3x plus 4, 3 parentheses x plus 4, whatever. Typically, it's a good idea to make up a number for x and then work out the rest of the problem afterwards. So be hypothetical. Whenever you could choose, it doesn't matter. Unless they say x got to be positive or a whole number, whatever, you can do whatever you want. So Maria has x hats. How many hats do you want Maria to have? Say 5 hats. Okay.
Big tip. What do you don't have a strategy, any old number?
Something like this won't matter.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have 2.5 hats.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have like you could have like 17 hats, kind of weird, but
Yeah.
okay, now Sinead has 4 more. So Sinead, she's gonna be 4 more than 3 times Maria. So 4 plus 3x. Actually, I kind of already solved it. Or if you think about 4 plus 3 times 5. I mean, it's pretty easy. Actually, I know what the answer is. It's going to be A. I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's 19 hats. But what you do is you plug in 5 in each choice to see which one gives you 19 as an answer. And definitely A gives you 19. B does not. That'd be 3 times 9, which is 27. C does not. That's 4 times 8. Because Shanae has 4 more than 3 times Maria. And Maria has 5 hats. So you do 4 more. 4 more plus 3 times 5.
Wait, where does it say she has 5 hats?
You see that?
Oh, because you just make up.
I made it up. I made it up.
Why is it 4x plus 3 plus?
Because 4 more, you have to do 4 plus. And then 3 times 5. Now, I could have chosen a different number for x. Like I said, 2 hats. I mean, 4 plus 3 times 2. Or 4.
Just describe it, even not picking a number for x.
Actually, it was kind of easy to do it algebraically just to think about it. It wasn't that hard, right? It was actually pretty straight because it is kind of an easy question. This would definitely be module 1 type question. Okay, so now we're going to move on to medium. So I'm going to do 3 per set here because that's just how it works. Let's do. Let's do number 6. Number 6 is a good one. Okay. All right, go and read it first. Take your time. Don't rush. Okay. Okie dokie. So this person's on the phone for 10 minutes, right? This is actually how to use the charge for phone calls a long time ago. Now it's just unlimited. So you guys don't know how it was back in the day. Oh yeah, it was crazy. Like if you call long distance. Oh yeah, my brother actually got this kind of I can't share too much about the story because but it's a little Probably not quite age appropriate, but my brother got stuck in Mexico. He was in Tijuana. Don't ask why. And it was a collect call. The collect call cost me $36 for 2 minutes. $36. Yeah, he got pickpocketed and had to go down and rescue him. I was going to school in San Diego at the time, and my brother was a freshman at San Diego State. I was a senior. But anyway, I digress.
Long distance call
Yeah.
to a boyfriend in college that I had to get a job to pay my parents back.
Yeah.
It added up so fast. Yeah, so I.
Or my parents would call the Middle East often, and they get these phone cards you buy from,
Yeah.
the liquor store or whatever. But they don't sell phone cards anymore. But anyway, I digress. So the first 3 minutes is 10 cents per minute, right? So how much are you charged for the first 3 minutes? 30 cents, yeah. 30, yeah. So 30 cents. You charge 30 cents for the first 3 minutes. Now let's make up a number for C. Then you get a discount, right? If you talk longer than 3 minutes. What do you want C to equal? But less than 10. 5. Great. Yeah, don't choose like 20 because then it'd be negative. Then actually you're making money. So don't do that. So 5 cents, right? So that means that for the next 7 minutes, it'll be 7 times 5 or 35 cents. Does that make sense for the next 7 minutes? Right? Because you chose 5. Again, you chose whatever you want, doesn't matter. But for what you chose, it's going to be 35 cents. So combined, the first 3 minutes and the next 7 minutes, what's the total cost of the phone call? 65 cents. Perfect. Got it. Now your job is to plug in the number you chose for C. You chose 5. Great. Plug in 5 into each choice. Which one's going to get you 65 as an answer? I'm actually glad you picked 5. You'll see why it was a slight problem, but I'm glad you did. So the first one, if I plug in 5 for C, what does that become? 570. That's too much, right? How about for B? Yeah. However, what about C?
Subtract. And it'll also be 60.
Yeah, they both work. You both get 65 in each case. And of course, D won't work, so that'll be negative. Okay, so what do? Don't give up. Actually, it's a good thing. You can narrow it down to 2, but you have to now try a new number. 5 is like a very common number to choose because you took half of 10. Probably better than like 2, maybe, or 4. Let's do 2. If you do 2, then it's going to cost 8 cents per minute. If I change that to 2. And now that's going to cost 56 cents for the next 7 minutes. So what does that add up to now? 30 plus 56 is 86. And remember, I chose 2 for C. B is not going to work now because that's too low. B is going to be 44 if I plug in 2 for C.
Wait, I'm confused. What did you get 8?
10 minus C,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. That's why it's medium level. There's a little bit more happening.
I just did this without numbers. I just did this. 10, 10, 10, 10 minus C, 10 minus C, then 100 minus 7C.
That works too.
Is that, okay, I just wanted to
Yeah,
was right.
that totally works. Actually, I love what you did. So what Ms. Meg did, so she's getting her money's worth today. Ms. Meg did this. She added 10 3 times and added 10 minus C 7 times. You could do that also. That also could work. If you prefer an algebraic approach, I won't hold that against you. If you could like design the expression algebraically. But sometimes when you get stuck, it's good to have a strategy to bail you out. This will bail you out. Just make up a number for C. And why did I have 8? Because 10 minus 2 is 8. So the first 3 minutes is 30 cents. The next 7 minutes was 7 times 8, which is 56. Add 30 to 56, I get 86. And then you're committed to C being 2. Plug in 2 in each choice. Which one gives me 86? Clearly C does. So that's how that works.
Yeah,
So any questions?
no, it's just interesting, but it's good either way you do it to check it the other way, if you have
Correct.
enough time.
Correct. Right.
You may not have enough time to.
Then let's do a hard one. let's do no, trying to think here. Let's do 9. I mean, I really want to do 10. Maybe if we have time, we come back and do 10. 10's kind of crazy. I'll say that for homework. Let's look at 9. If x and y are positive integers and root x equals y plus 3, what is the value of y squared? So again, we know to use a strategy when you see letters here. You see letters, right, in the choices. So let's make a number for x.
4.
4 is great. Yes, I would not do anything that's a non-perfect square. Like I have not done 5. I have not done 7. I have not done 11. Choose something that's simple that you can square it. So that becomes 2, right? So what's y going to equal now?
2.
Careful. If x is 4, and what's the square of 4? Square of 4 is 2. And 2 equals y plus 3. What's y going to equal?
Oh.
-1, right? So we're okay with that? Y equals -1?
It said if
But
X
I
and Y
just-
are positive integers.
Oh, crap. I just saw that. Then let's go bigger. Yeah. Good catch. Actually, I think it still would have worked, but it's okay. We'll follow the instructions. Yeah, let's do that. My bad. Okay, so y equals 2. Okay, better now? We're okay? Right. So which one's going to equal 2? Oh, sorry. No. What does the question want?
What's
Y squared. See, I'm already making a mistake. Yeah, you have to answer the question. Didn't ask for y, ask for y squared. Okay, so just to back up, we chose a number for x. We chose a number that's easy to square root, which is 25. So thank Allison for that. 25 is good. 5 equals y plus 3. We solve for y, which is 2. And the question wants y squared. Of course, we square 2, you get 4, right? So I want 4 to be the answer. I want one of the 4 choices to equal 4 when I plug in 25 for x. Go through each choice. When you do that, which one's going to equal 4?
Is it C?
See this here, D? Now take a look at D. They have x squared, right?
Yeah.
What does x equal right now? And what's 25 squared? Really large, right? So that's gonna be like 625. I mean, use a calculator, of course. It's way too big for D, because if you do D, you're gonna have 625 minus 6 times 5 plus 9. That's a really large number. We don't want that.
Oh, X is 5.
Correct. Because you got confused a little bit. Root x is 5, yes. So it's gonna be C, correct. Because you have 25 minus 6 times root 25, which is 5, plus 9. So you get 4 straight up. Yep.
So you create the equation and you plug in what you got in the
Yes.
equation?
Yes. Correct. Yes. Now, how could you do this algebraically? You could have said root x. Oh, can't do what? Raise.
These are good erasers.
You could do that first, and then you have to square both sides. But when you square both sides, you have to actually FOIL and work that out. Notice they put A or even B as a trap, because if you'll just square the root x and 3 separately and think it's x squared plus 9, or sorry, x plus 9. So they put those as traps. But if you FOIL correctly, you should get C. But again, you don't have to do that algebraically. You can just yeah, plug in numbers. And by the way, all this is recorded, so you have access to all this. All right, let's move on. Let's go into plugging in answer choices. So plugging in answer choices means working backwards. Hopefully this might seem intuitive. Like if x is a positive integer and you have this, what is the value of x? Remember, this is a multiple choice test, right? I mean, yes, there's some free response, but this is multiple choice. So we anticipate that we can just plug in the numbers and see what makes sense. Now, if you want to use Desmos, go ahead. You could graph the left side, graph the right side, so you really touch. You can solve this algebraically by factoring. You could do that, but I don't care. I want you to plug in the number. Let's start with 2.
Pretty easy plugging.
You get 14 equals 4. No. Let's try 4 now. If I plug in 4, 16 equals 16. Bingo. It's B. There we go. That's it. What's happening here too, I'm showing you guys ways that are efficient to get the answer quickly. Remember, this is a 2-hour test or 2.5-hour test. If you extend time, it's even longer. And you're going to wear out. So if we can preserve our stamina, that's good. Also, if you need to buy more time for more challenging questions, you've now done that. Because maybe some questions, like, they give you an average of, I think, 1.5 minutes or 90 seconds per question. But if you do some like 10 or 20 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever, great, do it. Because now you can maybe spend 2 or 3 minutes on another question, right? So that's why, you want, and as you do more and more of these, because this is giving a lot of practice here, you'll get more comfortable. Let's try medium level. Questions on that one? We're okay. Working backwards, okay. Let me think here. Let's do 7. I like 7 with fractions. I like that.
I like
Okay.
living.
Yeah, that too. Right. Okay, you got 3 types of jelly beans. You got cherry, licorice, and orange. How many are in the bag with all that information to give you? Okay. Well, here's what I'm going to do. Well, first off, there's one answer that makes absolutely no sense. That's mathematically impossible. Because one of these 4 choices has to be the total, right? But how many orange do we have right now?
1.
So can I have 16 total jelly beans? No, that'd be crazy, right? Because how can you have 20 orange, but there's a total 16? It makes no sense. So I'd say A's out. Yeah. Okay, now assume 32 is the answer, or is the total. Here's a problem if you assume 32 is a total. 1/3 of 32. Does that come out clean?
No.
Comes out pretty messy, right? Not saying for sure it's wrong, because I mean maybe you could cut the jelly bean and like cut in half, whatever. But I have a feeling B is not going to make sense. So I'm going to get rid of B because it's a fraction. So now let's assume that 36 is the answer. 36 is a total. What's 1/3 of 36? Well, yeah. Okay. What's 1/4 of 36? 9. Good. So I got 12 cherry, 9 licorice, and 20 orange. What does all that add up to? Yeah, we overshot it. Yeah, so that's not going to make any sense because it has to be 36. So it better be D. Otherwise, I don't know what to do. But, I mean, for the most part, if you're running out short on time, you could just pick D.
Like changing the denominators to be the same?
You could do that. You're doing algebraically. That's great. You could do that too. Yes, I'm going to show that in a moment. But if you assume 48 total, you got 16 cherry, 12 licorice, 16 plus 12 plus 20 is 48. Yep, there we go.
Wait, what'd you do with the 20?
Oh, I brought it back in because once I did the fractions for cherry and licorice, because remember cherry was 1/3 and licorice was 1/4. Once I took 1/3 of the total, then I added 20 to those other 2 numbers because I found the exact number of cherry and the exact number of licorice. See, here's the thing. You have 3 flavors, right? We have fractions for each of those 3, and we have exact numbers for each of those 3. So, for example, if I had like a giant jar here, maybe next time I'll bring jelly beans. I get it from my house. Yeah, if you have a giant jar of jelly beans, you can count the number of jelly beans you have of each, right? But also you can do as a fraction. Like if you have 100 jelly beans and 20 are orange, oh, I got 1/5 orange. And I got like 50 cherry, I got 1/2 cherry. I've got 30 licorice, I got 3/10 So if you wanted to get a little fancier, you could have done this. Make a table, cherry, licorice, orange. The fraction, the exact number. And actually down here, I don't know why I did that was dumb. I don't know why I did a third column. The total, I should have put fractions and exact in the rows, but yeah, you figure, okay, I got 20 orange. That's 1/3. That's 1/4. I'll call this X. What do all the fractions have to add up to? 1, because this would be 100%. And you could solve for X if you wanted to. Once you do that, right, you could do the LCD as you said, right? Like 4/12, 3/12, and then do you do 7/12 for orange? Is that what you did? Or
I didn't get to the 20.
oh god, if you would have 7/12 orange. So 7/12.
Well, a certain then, right?
Oh yeah, because I could do fractions, right? I could do advanced calculus. I can't do fractions. 5/12
5/12.
because all this has to add up to 1.
Oh.
And then 5/12 times x equals 20. And you solve for x. But see, it's a lot of work to do. It's a lot of steps.
Yeah.
And we're trying to avoid that. I would get 48 if I did it correctly. But I'm trying to avoid that, so yeah. Probably best not to do that.
It almost seems like you just have to play with them a lot and
Right.
try lots of things and then get your mojo until you can kind of get the faster way to do it.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? You gotta do
Right.
it several ways and then kind of shake it down to the faster way.
Right.
almost. Yeah.
Let's try number 11. Okay, for 11. If x squared is add to 5/4y, the sum is that if y is a positive integer, which finds the value of x? Give me a sec here. Yeah, I know what the heck, right? Okay, let's make an equation here.
So can you drop the denominator?
X squared plus 5/4y equals you're okay with that so far? I just made an equation with the words, right? What do you think should be my next step? I'll let you guys tell me before
Can you like cross multiply?
before that.
Get rid of the denominator.
Before that. How many fractions do I have?
2.
Are the denominators the same?
Oh,
Combine them. Combine them. You want to move the other fraction to the side.
I was thinking you're just putting one for the y.
I wouldn't do that necessarily
Oh,
because
you
of
want two variables.
yeah, I just want to just simplify it first if I can.
We had you. Oh, like this like that.
Hmm. Okay, so far okay. I made an equation with the words. I combine the fractions. So what happens when you have two fractions with the same denominator? What can you do with the numerators?
Just like
Just combine them. Yeah. Just like if you had like 4/5 plus 3/5 is 7/5, right? Same thing.
I think it's
This is
just
why
y
we're
over
fine.
5.
Okay.
So what happens to the y's now? If you have y over 4y.
They're one.
These cancel, it becomes 1/4.
This one. Oh yeah, because the y's better.
The y's cancel.
So
Okay, I'll back up. So far, you guys are okay at this, right? And you're okay at the step below? Correct. Because I have 5 plus y minus 5. So the 5's cancel. Then I have y over 4y. How does that reduce?
and then you can get rid of the ones.
That's 1/4, right?
And then you square that so
Square root.
yeah. That's
And if you square root, you should get 1/2.
So you square root the 1/4 to get 1.
Correct. And so,
Wait, but why? Oh, okay.
only for x minus.
so notice I didn't work backwards. I could have if I wanted to, but I just felt this was a better way to do algebraically. So there is a fine line. It's actually an art when you should do this way or plug it in. Of course, I have an advantage of doing this for like about 24 years. So more than half my life actually, which is kind of crazy. Because I moved back to California in 2001. When I started grad school at Stanford, and yeah, I was working downtown Palo Alto off Cowper Avenue. Yeah, I was 20. Actually, I was 23 at the time. Yeah. Anyway, so I have an advantage because I've done this all the time. But not saying you're going to do this for 20 years, but yeah. But it takes practice. The more you practice, better you get. So you start noticing what are, hopefully you can determine what's the best way. So we'll work on that as we get further along.
You're not gonna get to, Mr. E's level, but just practice.
No, if they become an SAT tutor, they can. I'll be retired and they could be my age in 20.
You can work for him and tutor.
Yeah, definitely my plan is to retire in 20 years. So when my youngest is out of college, so that's my plan. All right. Okay, let's move on to now. Now we're going to more advanced math. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. Try number one.
Remember one.
Oh, that's just.
Exponents, yeah.
189, right?
Mhm.
Oh, easy, okay,
Easy.
easy.
Wouldn't it just be?
We got to about one.
Put D.
D, do we agree? Yeah, why is it?
Because.
Don't be scared. You got it.
That's
If t cubed was -8, if t cubed is -8, t has to be -2. Because when you multiply -2 3 times, you get
The
-8.
T is. The answer is.
Oh.
Let's think about t cubed means you're multiplying t 3 times. And if you're multiplying a number 3 times and the output's negative, then t has to be a negative number. And plus, if you just look at the choice, well, actually, don't look at the choices. The choice is something else. Don't do that. Just solve for t first. But what does the question want? They want t squared. So if t is -2, what happens if you do -2 times -2? That's it. Yeah. Yep, that's it.
Wait, but can't you just do it like in your head?
Yeah, yeah. Sure. By the way, for number 2, we won't do it. Or for number 3.
Wait.
Okay. What do you think? Actually, I think we'll just do the easy ones right now, and I'll save medium hard ones for homework. Shoot, I should have had you guys brought laptops today. Did,
Do most people have
or,
it?
or you could use a cell phone too.
You can
oh,
also, I have an
if-
iPad and a
if
laptop.
if you can use Desmos, so I want you doing number 2 and number 3 by using Desmos. I do not want you doing this algebraically. Do not do them algebraically because for number 2, yes, I like what you said as a math teacher. I love it. I don't think that's the best. Oh, actually, hold on one sec.
Well, you can't.
Well, actually, wait, hold on. Let's slow down a little bit. Actually, number 2 is not as crazy as I thought. Yeah. Sorry, I thought I saw an X in the first set of parentheses. What's 7 plus 8?
Oh, 15.
15. And then you could divide both sides by 15.
Wait, but how'd you get 60? Oh, wait, 60 is not even.
60 is no problem.
I didn't see that.
It's there. No worries. Yeah, never mind. I was losing my mind. But we definitely need for number 3. X equals 6, yeah. Yeah, notice they kind of threw us for a loop there. I got thrown for a loop too. I saw 2 sets of parentheses. I thought I should actually FOIL. But why? 7 plus 8 is 15. They're like terms. Now you could distribute the 15 to x minus 2, sure. You could do that and work it out, but yeah, not necessary.
So for Desmos, you would just put, for like number 3, you just plug in the equations
Now for number 3,
and see where it like crosses or no.
Do you not do the thing where you like
actually, you know what? That's not so bad either. Yeah. Okay, you could use Desmos. Okay, don't get your laptops out. It's okay. Yes, you can use Desmos and graph both equations, see where they touch. But what happens if I stack the equations? Valentina, good eye there. Yeah, what happens if I stack the equations? What happens if I add the equations now? Yeah, the y's cancel. So x equals,
Third x3.
right. So yeah, okay. I think I was being a little premature by saying you have to use Desmos. But I think it would work for later on. I think, well, I don't know. Maybe somewhere. Well, let's just move on. Okay. Any questions on those three? 1, 2, and 3? No? All right, let's keep moving. Okay, functions. This is also part of advanced math. Now, some of you have not taken algebra 2 yet. I know that. So you might find this a little tricky. But if you've had algebra 2 or you're on the pre-cal, or maybe you just know. So when they say the function has 3 distinct zeros, how many times should it cross the x-axis?
3.
3 times. Which graph crosses the x-axis 3 times?
B? Or
Yeah. Yeah, B, that's it. Yep.
Who said that?
Hmm.
I'm totally lost. Love it.
Because it crosses the x-axis 3 times.
Okay.
See, A crosses 4 times. C only crosses twice. D crosses twice.
Okay, dumb question.
Hmm?
If the function has 3 distinct zeros, how do you know it's the x plane, not the y plane that it hits 3 times?
It can't cross y because it would cease to be a function. It would fail the vertical line test. So when it's a function, it has to also the fact that when it says 3 zeros, it means when y is 0. It means you have to be across the x-axis.
Thank you.
So that's just the fundamental theorem of algebra.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Thank you.
yeah, that's all. So remember, the number of zeros a function has are the x-intercepts. That's the algebraic graphical connection.
Miss, like, do you have more hummus? No, that wasn't asking for me.
Do I have more what?
Hummus?
Just
Yes.
Yeah. Crackers? Yes.
I can take some my crackers out. I'm not gonna eat all of them all. I'll still bring them. Okay, let's talk about number 6. Yeah. Now, if you know, yeah, it's algebra 2. Okay, so there's a couple things you could do. If you study polynomials in algebra 2, you're taking algebra 2 next year, right? Okay, so you probably haven't seen this concept yet. So one way you could go about this is graph each of those equations in Desmos. So if you're ever stuck, just go to Desmos and plug in those equations and see which graph matches the graph you see in the problem. So you totally could do that. That's not a problem. Just go to Desmos, graph each one. Now I'm actually going to open up Desmos myself so you can see this in action. So for example, if I graph the first equation, and actually I have the copy right here, so I don't feel bad.
That's so fascinating.
It's asking which equation matches the graph.
Oh.
Easier than
So y equals x plus 3, x minus 4. Okay, so look at my graph.
Wow.
Does that graph match what's in here? No, right? So I'm going to try the other ones. Maybe if I do x plus 4, x minus 3. Nope. Let's try the next one. If you want to make it squared, hit shift 6. Squared. X plus 3, x minus 4 gets better. It's crossing at -4. Nope, it's crossing at -3. So let's do a reverse. X plus 4. So notice I'm using Desmos. I'm plugging in each equation. Now that's better. I know it doesn't quite look because the way it's formatted is kind of funny, but it's crossing at -4. is crossing at 0 or bouncing at 0 and crossing at 3.
Okay, does everyone understand? I don't yet, but does everyone understand how to use Desmos? And the next question is, they can use that on their phone, but during the test.
Oh, but it'd be an app that's built into the it's a feature built into the app, yeah. Right. Now algebraically, what's happening, if you think about it, the graph is crossing the x-axis at -4. This is going to be something you'll learn off in algebra 2. If you're crossing at -4, x plus 4 must be a factor. Because when you plug in -4, you want 0. If I plug in -4 into this, -4 plus 4 is 0. 0 times all the other junk is still 0. I'm crossing at 3. I want x minus 3. Now you're bouncing off the origin. X is 0. You're bouncing off of it. That's why it's x squared.
Wow.
Because you're bouncing off of the origin.
It's always gonna be square when it bounces. And the reason that's a longer conversation, which I don't want to rush or gloss over. There's a good reason why it bounces, and you will learn that. I know you're gonna learn that algebra 2 next year. Just for now, we'll just assume that because you can use Desmos. We'll talk more about the algebra goes into a later time because that's like a 15-20 minute discussion, which I don't want to get into right now. But you can use Desmos and just graph each one and see which matches. So we can do that. Ooh, this is a good one. This is kind of crazy.
As the man who's been studying
Actually, I don't know if I want to do this one right now because it could take too long. 11. Let's do 10. Okay, go and read 10. What is a vertex?
Oh, whoops.
It's either a low point or a high point. Obviously, we're gonna have a high point, sorry, a low point because it's opening up. And what is a vertex here? It looks like it's 2 comma something, right?
2 like 5.
Yeah, something like that, right?
Negative.
Or -20 something. The question is asking you which equation shows the coordinates of the vertex in the equation itself. Well, which one shows me a 2?
Seats.
There you go.
That's it.
That's
Wait,
it.
so automatically, if we just look at the vertex, we can determine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep.
but what if there's like 2 with the.
True. So then you do have to know vertex form. And vertex form, for those who've had algebra 2, you will learn this in the fall of algebra 2.
Plus K.
Yeah. Yeah, this is vertex form. You do need to be familiar. We're getting to module 2 type questions now, like more advanced algebra. And I think what I'll do is that probably after your next practice test, probably sometime in the middle of July or so, I think what I'll do is maybe I'll do like an algebra 2 type lesson, like some of the things you might see in the fall. And we could talk about like, oh, polynomials, we talk about vertices, all those things. We could have that discussion. So I think it would be good to talk about. But I actually kind of have to design a lesson for that. So not ready to do that today.
You can also, I don't know, assign videos to watch.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that could be something as a pre-thing to do. Sure. Yeah. Totally. Okay. So we're almost done with this packet here. We do have to transition to reading and writing very soon. Grid ends. So these are free response questions. Let's talk a little about geometry because I know we haven't really done much geometry today. We should at least broach that subject. So let's talk about number 2. I mean, they're not hard problems. You just solve for x. So what do you guys think? What's x gonna equal here?
What are all the angles of a triangle add up to?
360 or 180?
180.
180.
160.
Can I use my phone calculator?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, no problem.
So
40 here and then
minus
40
equals 140. Is it 140?
So what's X gonna equal?
140?
140, got it. Because if you,
It's not fast for me.
well, 40 is the this little angle right here, right? And X is right next to it. And because it forms a line, X forms a line at 40 degrees, and a line's always 180, right? A straight angle is always 180. So yeah, if you got 40, the other one has to be 140. So yeah, that's all. Let's do 6 because we haven't, just kind of revisit data stuff. Um, you'll definitely need a calculator for this one. Well, kind of, I think so. Okay. Yeah, go and try 6. So again, you have to make up your own number. So you can't use like a plug-in strategy or plug in numbers, you can't work backwards. So you kind of have to kind of go through the math through brute force.
So does it mean 280 answered human or other, so the 6% and the 10% adds up to 280?
Correct.
Okay, so 10% is 280.
Wait,
Correct.
what? Oh, what?
Wait a second, can you explain that
Can you
again?
say that again?
Yeah, so human is 6%, other is 4%, and it says of the adults surveyed, a total of 280. Meaning, answered human or other, so
So
280 is human and other together, which is 10%.
So think like this, right? H plus O equals 10%, right? Does that make sense from the pie chart?
Yeah,
Right? Then also they say that human or other add up to 280. Also, doesn't H plus O equal 280? Because it said so, right?
yeah.
So if you think about it, 10%
It's 280, what's
of
100%?
the total equals 280. Right? Because if human plus other, of course, is 10%, we see that in the pie chart, and it tells us in the problem itself, oh yeah, they're 280, then 10% of the total is 280. So how many total people were surveyed? How would I solve that? Backtrack's good. Backtrack's good. Okay, so human plus others 10%. Actually, I'll stand up. So I need to stretch my legs a little bit. All right. So that's 10%, right? And then these two together also add up to 280. 280 adults. So 10% of all the people who were surveyed is 280 people.
No.
So we have to make that.
100% of the people surveyed.
So 10% of everyone here belongs to these two categories. And these two categories also represent 280 people. So if I do 10% of the total, I don't know what the total is. We have to solve for the total. Let's call it X. And what's 10% as a decimal? 0.10, good. So 0.10 times X. I was gonna write, just gonna want a whiteboard. 0.1 times X. 0.1 times X equals 280. If you solve for X, you get 2800. But you're not out of the woods yet. Now you know the total. How many said other? You have to multiply that by 4%.
So 100% is just 280 with a 0 at the end.
Oh, wait.
So 10% is 280. 100% is 280.
Or just change the percentage to a decimal.
Wait, can I?
Just change it to a decimal and then solve for X. Because
Wait.
so you see why we have 2800, right?
I see why we have 2800. It's because of the dry and the humid and
Yeah, because all these other people, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. But then what does the question want? How many answered other? And what percentage we have for other?
For 4% of 2.
So we gotta take 4% of everybody. and everybody's 2,800. So take 4% of that. So what's 4% as a decimal? 0.04. So you do 0.04 times 2,800. Use a calculator, of course, and you should get, I think, 112.
Isn't 1% 28?
Sure. And then you do
And
times 4.
24?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. When you become an adult and you start doing taxes, you start doing percentages a little better.
You get,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, I don't know the algebra, but I just know. Yeah, like taxes and.
Or go to the restaurant,
Tax and.
you know, put
paying-
tip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tips and all
Yeah.
that,
Yep.
yeah.
Or sales tax, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. Okay. Um,
everybody get that okay?
Yeah. Let's do one more math problem. We're not gonna do the geometry and trig packet today. I'll just leave it for homework. But we're doing some geometry right now, which is good. And they'll do reading and writing afterwards. So looks like my plan was very ambitious today. That's okay. Let's look at number 9.
That's one quick question,
Hmm?
are you gonna go a little late today, and the
We-
the
we-
girls let their,
We go till 8:05, I think.
oh, okay,
'Cause
not
we-
too late.
Yeah,
Okay.
because we just got a little late start because of the
Yeah.
technology. Okay.
If you want to text your family, and see if they have a number to say 8:10 or something.
What?
I'm clueless. I don't know his name.
For number 9.
Oh wait, what?
Yeah, I like literally this is the one thing I like was struggling with.
What are you doing?
Like the shaded part stuff.
Well, don't worry about the shape part right now. Do you guys see why these two are 6?
Not really.
Because it's what are the dimensions of the rectangle? 18 by 8. So you have 8 over here, means this has to be 18. Yeah, we have 6 and 6.
So-
This has to be 6, right? Okay. What does the question want?
Wait, I'm so confused. I don't get how you got 18.
Oh, they
I
told us.
mean, no, I don't get how you got 6.
Oh, because you're told 18, right?
That's the part that's missing.
Oh,
You guys see why the missing part 6?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, okay, that's fine. So what do they want? The area of the. So what I would do is I would actually find the area of the whole thing first and subtract the 2 triangles. Because if you can find the area of the 2 triangles, then what's left over?
It's tons of.
Well, before we do that, but you guys see why I'm approaching it that way? Why I want to find the area of the whole rectangle and take away the 2 triangles are inside the rectangle, right?
Unshaded.
Correct. Yes. Correct. Yes. So now, let's find the area of the rectangle. What's the area of the whole thing here? Whatever 18 times 8 is. Which is 144, I think. Use a calculator, of course, something in your head. So the area of rectangle is 144. Now, let's look at one of the triangles here. That's a crappy looking triangle. Okay, this is 6, right? And it's a square, right? Because it's a square, it has to be a right angle. Because he told us so, right? So I'll call this X and X.
Did you do the cosine thing?
You don't have to. No, you don't have to do anything like that at all. You could use the 30, you could use the, okay, for those who had geometry last year, you guys remember the 45, 45, 90 ratios and doing all that stuff. We don't need to waste time doing that because what you know is that these 2 sides are the same 'cause it's a square. So you say x squared plus x squared equals 6 squared. Does that make sense so far how I took that triangle? And 6 is the hypotenuse. And the other 2 sides, I don't know, but they're the same, right? So 2x squared equals 36. What does x squared equal? 18. Now, if you think about it, isn't the area of the triangle going to be 1/2 times base times height? And what's your base and height here?
Square root.
Yeah, or of each one, or you could just say it's 1/2 times x times x. Or 1/2 x squared.
Oh, so that's 18.
Correct. So let me back up a little bit before I get too carried away. So again, I have a triangle, x and x, that's 6. A squared plus b squared equals c squared, that's cool. That's 2x squared equals 36, x squared is 18. There, a triangle is 1/2 times base times height. So I have this. And x squared is going to be 18. So what's 1/2 of 18? 9. But how many triangles you got? 2. What's 9 plus 9?
18.
Back to 18 again. So you're gonna do 144 minus 18, which should equal 126.
You have to remember like the area formula.
They give them to you.
Oh,
Yeah, they give you a reference sheet, so you don't have to memorize any formulas at all. But what you have to do is you have to practice these skills. And notice it's pretty involved. It's not just like, oh, find me the area of a triangle, find me the area of a rectangle. Like, it's like combined, and combined in a way that probably haven't seen before. Maybe you have. I mean, I think we kind of do this at Sacred Heart. I don't know about St. Francis or Priory, but yeah. So hopefully that makes sense. We're good there. Okay, cool. So let me give you the other math package just so you have it. And we're gonna do you guys might just power through. Is that okay? Or do you need a little break? Do you need 4-minute break? We take a 4-minute break. We'll do a 4-minute break, yeah. That's fine. Let me give you the other math package so you have them. It's just it's shorter than the other one.
That?
oh, bring it.
Oh, did I not do one? I'm sorry.
What's it? What's that? Oh, get out there, girl. You didn't. It's so embarrassing. I feel like I was going to complain. So he something. Basically, what happened was this one, right? I'm gonna act crazy, but this girl, one of his friends follows him, and they're like a whole friend. Oh, she follows me, I mean. She said it is. And her name, but she went and she wanted to go snitch to. And she. And so then, Xavier takes and he's like, why do you still have anyone's friends on the line?
I don't need.
I really had forgotten about them. You're so lovely. And then they have go to Xavier and question out on him because they're like, why don't you tell him about this? And he's like, but we're the nice guys, none of you guys' business. And then, it's just story times. And so they order it to me, and then I'll go catch that.
Here, right?
Well, just basic pictures, but I need basic pictures. I literally don't have. They look the same color, but it's really not. This is great.
Either Kim's account got banned.
And then I wanted this other shirt and I wanted this Viking shirt, but they were out of stock.
Anyways,
And then I've ripped my my like 6th grade flip flops on my neck.
I don't know about you guys, but
I opened
challenging. How you guys doing?
Okay.
Okay? All right, so talk to me about snacks. Oh, I bought tomatoes. You guys want tomatoes? What's that?
That was amazing.
And then I just left them on the team, so I was like, I'm not.
Anyone else other than Ari want
And then he
tomatoes?
was sunset. So it was more embarrassing for me.
Okay,
Anyways,
so some of you have seen that I'm bombarding you with vocabulary words when you get a chance to work on it.
So today's math because of the region history. I'm so happy, but it's also our last our final essay. Like we can take it home. So do you think you have time to the first one?
Yeah, when is it due?
She said tonight or tomorrow, but I'm finished. She read it and stuff. But
Yeah.
any extra like fancy words.
Okay, let's fancy word it. Okay, so it's due tonight or tomorrow? Or tonight? Okay, you wanna stay and work on it in
Yes.
person? Okay, did you tell your family?
I told my mom I'd ask you. I wasn't sure if you could
Okay.
yes, because it is late.
Yeah. Can we text your mom and say, you
Yeah,
can say?
that'd be great. Thank you.
Okay, nobody else needs help that's time sensitive tonight, right? Okay. Okay.
I'm sure this- Let's see.
Oh, this girl is so mean, bro.
So,
You
Mariana, I
really-
texted
Yeah.
you about maybe
Right,
Tuesday, and you want more time.
Oh my
so-
god, please
that
don't,
work
I don't
tomorrow?
know. Confirm about what did I
You
do?
know what to do.
Oh, this is.
What did I do? Say right now.
What is that?
What?
That's yeah.
I did something?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Wait,
this
what did I
is
do?
what
Like,
works for you,
No, it's the
but not next.
No,
week.
tell me right now. Did I do? I
Okay, so
don't know what I
Allison
did.
gets dropped off like
You really don't know
5:15,
what
that's
you
why we don't have.
I don't know what I
time.
did. What did I
We'll
do?
be back on a Wednesday.
Okay, please tell me.
Oh,
what I
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
They're saying
No.
it's a night.
No
before
way.
the
No,
July.
you can do it.
Confirm me right now.
Would you-
What did you do? I didn't do anything.
Probably
Wait, I'm like, I
do
wouldn't
it.
do.
Okay, me too. I wanna know now. Not, I'm on patient. Not text me right now.
No.
Why?
No.
I didn't do
it's-
anything.
Allison,
Wait, for real, what did I
Yes.
do?
best day for you this week, is it still Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to
This was
figure you, so if, can you come tomorrow, this week? Okay, so you come tomorrow,
Just
Tuesday,
reflect on what you
Allison
did.
come Wednesday, and then we'll discuss next week, but you cannot come next week, Tuesday.
What?
Yeah. Okay, good.
What did I do? I didn't do anything.
Miss Alice.
Wait, you're gonna make me mad. What did I do?
Okay, Miss Allison, I may need to change your day next week. Yeah, I might give, Mariana Wednesday. Because she's got something on Tuesday. Does Allison have it too? Same event, different event? Okay, so let's do that.
Wait, do you have the interview?
Are you down for that?
No, Julie sent it to us.
Thursday, I'm going to a Tchaikovsky concert at Stanford outside. How nerdy is that? It's like so up my alley.
Wait, what?
Wait, what time are you going tonight?
On Thursday, next Thursday?
Oh, wait, I mean, when is your interview?
It's on Thursday next week.
Wait, Allison.
All right,
Alright, let's go back to this.
all right,
We'll figure it out.
good.
Oh
Oh,
my gosh,
I'm
you're
gonna-
gonna mess me up the whole time.
What? As much as it messed me up when I found out.
Bro, I didn't do anything. Actually.
No, you know.
All right, let's go by faster, actually.
Okay.
So we want to talk about grammar. So going back to this again. We're looking at standard English conventions and expression of ideas. So say boundaries, form, structure, sense seems kind of vague. A lot of it's going to be punctuation, so verb agreement, pronoun usage, modifiers, some stuff like that. And then expression of ideas will be transition words and something called rhetorical synthesis. So I feel we can probably actually we could probably get done close to 8 o'clock. I think this is pretty fast. But just want to kind of explain how this works. So I know we dedicate a lot of time to math because I think that was needed. But so we will address this. And this goes from easy, medium, hard. So let's take a look at number one. Actually, we'll do one of each. We'll do an easy, we'll do a medium, we'll hard. So number one. Go and read it, tell me what you think. And you want the sentence to sound complete, by the way. Thoughts on number one?
That's okay.
A all around. Yep. The other ones sound like an incomplete sentence. Usually we have like ing, like reflecting, having reflected, or to reflect. That just they sound awkward and actually not complete. So you want complete sentences. So yeah, I would not go with any of those other choices. I'd totally go A.
Also, it has to, it is, and so it needs
Mhm.
reflects.
It has to be singular,
reflects.
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, if they have reflects versus reflect, then clearly testing on some verb agreement. So we want a plural, sorry, a singular verb. So we want to say reflects.
Because it is so.
Correct. Yes. Yep. Okay, let's do medium. Ooh, let's look at number one again. Yeah, ooh, one's a good one. It's a really, really good one. Very common. Very, very common. I'm gonna get my little highlighter here.
This one's a little tricky to me.
Okay, here's the deal. The answer is gonna be C. Let me explain why it's C.
Hey, that was really tricky.
Here's the thing. You don't need to say albeit small. Albeit is kind of like saying had a devout but small something. It's like saying, kind of using that. You could have just said the Universal Zetetic Society had a devout group of followers and posed two periodicals during its existence, blah, 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 whatever, right? You didn't need to say that it was small. It was not necessary or it was not essential. This is what we call non-essential clauses. A clause is a statement, and that's what a clause is. Non-essential means you don't need it. Like remember COVID, we had essential workers like firemen, police officers, doctors, teachers, whatever. But not essential means you're not important, right? Because all those other people I just mentioned were important for society to function. But non-essential means you don't need it. So when you don't need something, you're always going to put commas before and after, or parentheses inside parentheses, or use dashes. So I didn't need to say albeit small. I could have just said had a devout. So I didn't even need anything here. Because it was not necessary, that's why I know I have to have commas. And plus you have a comma between devout and albeit.
That's not something I've covered with you guys, I don't think.
Yeah,
We would-
but it's very common
Yeah.
on the SAT.
Shouldn't have albeit or like.
It doesn't really matter so much because you just have to know it's just they're that phrase small is not needed. Because here's the thing, because you have the comma beforehand, right? So most likely I'm gonna need a comma afterwards also. And also when I read it and I see, okay, the phrase inside the commas, if I take it out, does it still sound okay? It does.
That's the test.
It still sounds okay. Yes. If it still sounds okay if I take out the middle phrase, that means that was not essential. Hence, it needs two commas. So let me show you another example of a non-essential clause. This will probably make a little more sense.
You know what, guys, and you know how I'm doing those vocabulary words for you? I can put sentences like that in my responses to the vocabulary words.
Here, let me show you this real fast.
You guys can. Your mom answered ballet.
Actually, Oh, it's taking a sweet little time. Lovely. Here we go. Hold on. Where the heck is it?
Why don't you know those great things?
Here we go. Yeah. Great example here. The hexacopter, a lump of steel propellers and lenses, is both camera and flying machine. So you see there's a comma after hexacopter and a comma after lenses. I didn't need that middle phrase. Yes, it's nice to have. It's nice to know because I didn't know what a hexacopter was. But here's the thing. Does a sentence sound fine without that middle phrase? The hexacopter is both camera and flying machine. It still sounds complete, right? So was that middle phrase needed? No. If it's not needed, what do you have to do to set it off? Commas before and after. Or you can do 2 dashes, or you can put parentheses. Why have it? It's nice. Like, okay, a car. Does a car need to have like heated seats? It's nice. But, the car still runs. But what does a car need to run? It needs 4 wheels and needs an engine, right? Or if you have a Tesla, it needs a battery, right? But whatever, right? It's you know, that was not necessary. So hopefully that makes sense. I want to show you an example there. Okay, let's look at another one. Let's look at one hard question here on punctuation. Let's take a look at um I was gonna briefly talk about transitions and the other stuff. Um let's go and try. Okay, go to page 177 and try number 4.
77 number 4.
Yep.
And we're all blown. Oh man, it's not the bad dirty.
177.4.
Question.
Okay.
Or, oh, 177.
The one about it says that the newspaper, the Cherokee Phoenix.
Oh, wait, never mind. I'll leave it. Get it wrong. Oh. I'm probably doing it.
Yeah, I'm probably right, you're wrong.
I'm probably not doing it.
Yeah, everybody, anyone who needs to go to racer, yes, please.
I thought he's on my wrong.
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
Okay, maybe I'll put Miss
The answer is not A, right?
it's not A. Oh, or I put Miss Veg on the spot. What do you think, Miss Veg?
A.
What? No, she thinks it's B.
Am I wrong?
It's B.
How is it not A?
How is it A? That just looked
said it.
The
weird.
newspaper, comma, then it's the proper name, the Cherokee Phoenix. comma.
I believe the answer is D.
Uh,
Yeah. And the reason why, when you put a title before someone's name or something, you don't need a pause there. So you kind of say it all the way through. The newspaper, the Cherokee Phoenix, was the first to be published because that is essential. You do need to know what newspaper we're talking about. Like I mean, if you said the newspaper was the first to be like, so usually when you put a title before something, you typically will like if you said President of the United States Donald Trump visited California, like you wouldn't put a comma between president and
You done that, yeah.
yeah, you just say it all the way through whenever you put a title before someone's name or some entity. Yeah.
Maybe when you guys write book reports, I'm thinking you don't have commas between, I have to look back.
We always put comma one word.
I am like comma queen, so.
You got to be very intentional with the commas.
So that-
Yeah, they do. Some people will pick A, right? it's common, but if you have a title before something, yeah, you don't put any commas at all. No need to pause.
So you have no comma and typically italics.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about one more reading and writing packets. Let me hand this out. We'll just talk about a couple more questions. We'll wrap up around 8 o'clock. Here we go.
Thank you.
You're happy to
Pass that down.
She said they talking about her birthday. I was like.
Okay,
did I miss that?
transitions. Let's talk about that.
It's been a year since like everyone's seen this now. It's been a year since everyone's seen this. Oh, why are you not really that? That's embarrassing.
Let's try number one. Um,
No.
So number one, you want to find the correct transition word.
This is really
Yeah, it's not just
like good writing.
good writing. Make sure you're writing smooth. If you know transitions correctly. So see, the U.S. alone uses 100 billion plastic bags a year. That's crazy. Although plastic bags can technically be recycled, Americans recycle fewer than 5% of the plastic bags they use. This means that the majority of plastic bags end up in landfills rather than being turned to something new. Blank, not all discard bags even make it to landfill. Plastic bags make up a portion of ocean refuse today. So are we contrasting? Or are we kind of giving another reason? Yeah, we're giving another reason. We're not contrasting, right? So I wouldn't say nevertheless. I wouldn't say C.
Is
Um,
is it A?
Yeah, I'd say moreover, because you're giving another reason. This means that they end up in landfills. Moreover, not all even make it to a landfill. Traditional makes no sense. Therefore, it's cause and effect. We're not doing cause and effect. Um, yeah, you're just giving another reason why this is a bad problem, right? Maybe problems are bad, again, but why this is a problem? So, actually, that was poor grammar I just said, because that's kind of a there's good problems, I suppose. So anyway, let's try another transition one. Let's go to page 240. Go and try number one. Yep. The medium number one.
What are you looking at?
You're better at English than I am.
Girl.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I got the same thing as you.
So then the mom, so that's.
Yeah, I'd say C.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this is what we call sequence. Because that kind of like they're saying like this is what could happen eventually, right? Or it could happen. As a rule, doesn't make too much sense. In addition, doesn't make
It's May, it's not definite.
correct. Yes, because then would be more definite if you said then. Correct.
Or as a
Yeah.
rule, that's definite, right? But
Correct.
May,
Yeah, so A and D kind of knock each other out as a result.
Yeah.
And maybe even B does too. So
So you would get 400 out of 800. If you got all the English right and none of the math, right?
you will get well if you got every single reading and writing question correct, you scored 800 in that section.
And
But if you did poorly, if you miss every math question, you get two. The 200 is the lowest score you can get. So you get 1,000. If you got every math question wrong, got every reading and writing question right, it'd be 1,000. But it's no, it's out 1,600 total. So each section is a scale of 200 to 800. Well,
800.
The
Or by
best you can
800.
do is a perfect 1600.
correct, right.
With everything is.
Right. All right, last one. It's called rhetorical analysis or rhetorical synthesis. I don't know what they call it now, but anyway, what we're doing here is they give us a bunch of bullet points. I'm only gonna do one of these, and there's a bunch of other ones you'll do for homework. It's not paid. It says like 165. That it's kind of out of order a little bit. It's in the middle somewhere. It looks like this. Do you see this right here?
Number one.
Yeah, let's look at number one. So here's how these questions work. They give you a bunch of bullet points, but what you really want to do is you want to answer this question after the last bullet point. The student wants to emphasize that many shared symbols across the world have explainable causes. What choice most effectively uses relevant information from notes to accomplish this goal? So again, you want to answer this question. Wants to emphasize that many shared symbols have explainable causes. Okay. So we need to use the bullet points that answer that question. So we look at the first bullet point. Large variety of symbols are seen in the culture around the world. What do you do? Fine. Doesn't talk about causes. Many symbols are repeated in cultures that are geographically far apart. Fine. Whatever. Some are repeated because members of the same race have migrated and carried the symbols with them. Okay. Ooh, now we're talking. Some shared symbols are due to elements of the human mind, right? Okay. Some are repeated because of amalgamation when two cultures blend together and assimilation when one culture mixes itself to another. Some are the result of the elements common to humans, such as a round ball as a symbol for the sun and moon. Okay. So we want to emphasize the shared symbols across the world, and they could be explained. They definitely explain for the last bullet point. That's a shared symbol, a round ball, and explains why it's shared. So I kind of want to use something among the fourth and fifth, sixth bullet points. So if I look at A, our brains interact with surroundings and our social media create a system. The reasons for can be readily understood with the known questions. Actually, hold on a sec. Now I'm a little confused. Give me a sec here. Want to emphasize that many share have explainable. Yeah.
Like Toledo, man.
I'll give you guys a tough one.
Sunscreen.
Give me a sec here.
I wore sunscreen today.
But like that one time when you were like in 8th grade when you were sunscreen.
That's so embarrassing. I don't use that.
Actually, I think. Yeah, do you want to talk about simulation, also migration? So actually, you know what, I'm probably gonna lean towards B.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean towards B because it says the reasons for cross-cultural appearance of some symbols can really sit within the realm of rational explanation. Because now you want to explain migration. So actually, we should use the third bullet point. Amalgamation, mentioned the fifth one. Assimilation and experience common to most humans. Yeah, common to most humans. Yeah, so I would have chosen B for that one. That was a tough one, actually.
It's really hard.
That was a tough one, yeah. They're usually you'll see about 2 or 3 of these at the end of each module for reading and writing. That would definitely be a module 2, I feel. That was a little tough. Okay, so we're all done for today. So homework, I'll have you just work on the rest of these packets. So it's quite a bit of work. I would say try to spend 30-ish minutes per packet, maybe 40 to be on the safe side. And these are pretty lengthy. But we put a dent into each of them.
Okay, and you're gonna send them something to read.
I will send that to Google Form, yes, correct. And then can I happen to just to see, let me just stop this here.